Welcome back to the Course Creation Incubator. I'm Gina Onativia, and as an online course coach and consultant, I get to help course students and clients build their online courses and marketing campaigns. It's a take stock time of year, isn't it? In fact, by the time you listen to this episode, you may be well into planning for 2021. Or you may be listening in 2021. And if that's the case, congrats, you made it through 2020. And now you're switching your focus to bigger, better, more brilliant things in the new year. If you haven't done that planning process yet, if you haven't really sat down and thought about what you want the next 6 months to look like, now's the time. I don't care if you're listening halfway through 2021 or you're listening at the end of 2020. Now is the time to look ahead. I'm doing this with my team right now, and if you want a few questions that you can ask yourself or your team if you have one, here you go. Here's a little inspiration for you. First, what was great about this year? Always start with what's great. This is a Tony Robbins-ism that's been really ingrained in me. It's funny, whenever I hear feedback or I'm talking about a project or working with an agency and we dive into what went wrong or what can be improved on, I'm always like, let's start with what's great, which probably bugs the heck out of people, but it's an auto response from me after so many years working for the big guy. So really push yourself on this. I know it was a tough year, but some good, maybe even some great came out of it. Maybe you got your first course out. Maybe you made progress in building your audience. Maybe you launched a podcast. Or you just started doing some research around your avatar or around your offer. Whatever it is, whatever that progress was, write it down and celebrate. Second question. What can you build on in 2021 that worked in 2020? How can you build on success? That could be in terms of projects that were a success or a new audience that you resonated with that may have been a surprise for you. I'm going to talk about this question more in a few minutes, so hang on to this question. Third question, what should you stop doing? I also like to review what didn't work. What am I wasting time on? Maybe it's something I've been doing for months. Oh gosh, or maybe it's something I've been doing for years. And it's always great to review and realize and be conscious of what I need to retire in terms of my business. And then finally, what are you looking forward to the most in 2021? Working with a specific kind of student or client. Maybe you're going to launch a membership site. Working more on your content. Maybe you're going to go part-time with your full-time gig. Maybe, just maybe, you're going to create a new office space for you to do your deep work. And if you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of your deep work, please check out episode 18 so you can do more with your time in 2021. Now, that's just a simple kind of take stock exercise, but I find it so valuable. I'm doing it for my business, like I said. I'm doing it for my clients' businesses and really looking at what's working and what's not. So that's first and foremost as we head into 2021. Now, to set you up for a successful year, I want to get to the meat of this episode. I love writing content, or in this case, recording it, at either the end of the year or at the beginning of every new year about what bold moves or bold shifts I want you to make for that next year. Because inevitably around this time at the end of the year, I'm talking to a ton of course creators about what they're going to do in the year ahead, but what worked and what didn't work. I hear patterns of what's happening with course creators lately, and I'm hearing trends. And I wanted to share with you guys some guidance about what I think is going to be critical for you for 2021. Okay, so here are my 5 bold moves or bold shifts that I want you to make or think about making in 2021. The first is stop investing in courses or products and start moving. Now, that might sound counterintuitive. I was brainstorming this episode with my husband, Alex, and he says to me, wait, you're going to tell them not to buy any products? Isn't that basically like against the law of everything that you stand for? Don't we need people to buy products and courses? Yes. He's right. And if you're shaking your head right now, yes, you've got a point. But allow me to explain. I think that as course creators, we're learners. And as learners, we tend to buy up a lot of knowledge. So in this case, courses and products. My perspective on this is you don't need any more content. You don't need any more information. You just need to move. You need to take some serious action. I think sometimes, tell me if you can relate to this, we think, I just need that one last piece to help me. Here's an example. I was talking to my friend the other day who's working on a script for a talk that she's going to do in 2021. And she was looking for a formula, a framework to help her structure that talk. So I walk her through it. I was like, all right, you're going to start with this. Then you're going to walk through these 3 points. Then you're going to wrap it up with this call to action. So we walk through it together. And I was like, all right, this is great. At the end of it, she's like, all right, I got it. I'm going to move forward. And then she pauses. And she asked me, do you know a download or a mini product I could buy to help me with this? And I said to her, you don't need a mini product. You've got what you need. Just go and take action. And she laughed and she nodded and she knew she just needed to move. And I think the whole point of this bold shift is at a certain point, you know what you need to do. You just need to take action on it. And there's a sidebar to this. You can set a date to buy that next course. So once you've used that content or information that you've gathered and taken action, you could set a milestone and say 6 months into the year that you get to buy that course, that next level product for you. So, for example, when I was building this podcast, I thought about buying a product to help me. But then I paused because I knew I already had what I needed because I used to work on Amy Porterfield's podcast. I knew how to outline, script, record, and then do some of the back end stuff. Now, I would still love to invest in a course about growing my podcast to the next level. So I've got that on my calendar for mid-2021 to look into. But in the meanwhile, I know I have what I need. I just need to take action. All right, let's move on to bold move number 2, invest in a team or just one person. Get help now. Okay, that's it. Mic drop. We're done. But seriously, I think if you haven't invested in some help yet, you need to do this in 2021. Start small, start slow. 5 to 10 hours a month. And by the way, in next week's episode, I'm going to talk about 2 roles that I think you need to hire for in 2021. So make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss it. Now, you can hire for your course creation, helping you with scripting, building slides. You can hire for your course marketing, with setting up emails, videos, etc. for your campaigns. You can hire for content creation, helping you with blogs, podcasts, etc. I just had an accelerator student, JJ, who created her podcast for the first time, and it's amazing. But she posted in our group that it took her 12 to 15 hours to create her first episode. And she's like, I hope this is going to get easier. I hope it's going to get more efficient. And the first thing I said to her was, you need to hire some help. Just a little bit of help to shave off that time. I'm having this conversation right now with all of my coaching and consulting clients. Who do you need to hire for 2021? If you're just starting out, it could be one person, few hours, a week, a month. If you've been in the game for a few years, you may be ready to hire a second or third person. We'll talk about that more next week, but start thinking about who you need in 2021. Who's going to move the needle for your business? Who's going to help you get your course done, out to market, build your audience, build your list, and really get those action items that you want to get done in the new year. Bold move number 3. I want you to think smaller. Wait. I'm sharing big, bold moves, and you want me to think smaller, Gina? The irony isn't lost on me. But I get a lot of course creators who want to build their signature course or their masterpieces the first time out, teach their life's work. And I would rather you put out a smaller course, what I would call a focus course. Just start with one simple topic and then grow from there. I don't want you investing the time, money, effort into this big ass product that you don't know if you have a market for yet. I want you to make sure you have market validation, and a focus course would really help with that. So for example, if I'm a nutritionist, maybe I'm not going to put out an entire nutrition plan for busy entrepreneurs or mom entrepreneurs. That's way too much to do. That's a significant course. It's all encompassing. Instead, I might put out a weeknight nutrition plan for new dads, or maybe a shorter focused nutrition course on how to add extra vegetables to your kids' meals without them totally freaking out. Those are focused courses. You're not sharing your life's work about nutrition. There's a big reason why I want you to go smaller. You're less likely to get stuck based on numerous course creation boutique studies. All right, it's really based on me working with dozens of done-for-you clients and course students each and every year. Because inevitably, I'll see course creators who start with lofty visions, realize what a pain in the ass it could be to get that first course out, and then after putting in all this work, they decide to go smaller anyway. They decide to minimize. And that's when they get it done and have something they can put out to market. All I ever want you to do is think about it. Think about putting that focus course out there, create a raving fan audience, and then growing from there. So in order to go big in 2021, think smaller. Bold move number 4, stop trying to innovate. Instead, build on what's working. Sometimes I think we look forward to a new year and think, oh, what's on trend or what's going to be cool this year, and I want to hop on that bandwagon. It's tempting to pivot completely and try to jump on the cool for the new year trend instead of building on what you've already got. What I don't want is you all of a sudden deciding to create a membership site because they're on trend. Instead, build on a live course that you did in 2021, or figure out how you can go with that in a bigger way. Or if you've already launched your course once or twice in 2020, now you can add webinars or a challenge to it and make an even bigger campaign out of it. I've mentioned before that I did a course for Juliana Rancic and Jason Kennedy, Own the Spotlight. And there's a module all about building your business and how to find new opportunities. And in the course, Juliana talks about looking at what's working, what you're getting a response to, and how that can extend your brand or extend out to different opportunities for you and your business. And I 100% agree on this for course creation as well. What are you getting a response to, and how can you build on that? If you're getting a major response from small group coaching, could you expand that into a mastermind? What's the next step? So instead of saying, I'm going to create something completely new, a new membership site out of nowhere, build on what's working. You can also build on what's working in terms of your audiences. I've been working with another client. We realized that a segment of who they serve really steps up and buys big ticket offers. And we're looking to ahead to 2021 thinking, okay, how can we invest more in this segmented audience? Rather than saying, hey, we're going to go after a completely new segment that we're not sure is going to buy, we're going to go after the one that we've seen results in 2020, but do it in a bigger way. We're going to expand our reach with that segment. We're building on what works, building on that success. Finally, our 5th bold move, stop stalling. Okay, that's not really a bold move. That's more of a mindset shift. So let's call it mindset shift for 2021. Stop stalling. Make sure that 2021 is the year that you get your course done. Nothing lights me up more than hearing about your completed courses. So I want you to get your course done. Then I want you to email me or hit me up on Insta. What's the one belief or idea that might be holding you back? What do you need to make 2021 your best year yet? And by the way, if your course isn't done yet and you're just stuck and you don't know why, I want you to take my brand new quiz. Go to coursecreationboutique.com/quiz. This is for course creators who got started even just barely and then stopped. The results are going to help you figure out what's holding you back. Take this quiz. I'll give you your results and give you some specific tips about how you can get unstuck. Okay, let's recap those bold moves. Number 1, stop investing in products and start moving. Take action. Number 2, invest in a team, even just one person. Do it. Make the moves. Get the hire going. We'll talk about that next week. 3, think smaller, focus course, not bigger masterpiece, signature course. 4, stop trying to innovate and build instead on what's working. 5, stop stalling and get your course done. Go take that quiz, coursecreationboutique.com/quiz, and I'll see you next week while I'll be breaking down the 2 roles I feel like you should be hiring in the next year. Make sure you subscribe wherever, however you're listening so you don't miss one course creation tip. Please, please, please rate and review this episode so I can get the word out to more course creators around the world. Until then, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.